Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Going to just do a check-in and see what messages Spirit has for us. It's been kind of like, I think it's been about a week or so since I've done a reading. So I think the last one I did was on the 11th and it's the 18th. So actually, yeah, like literally a week ago, I just realized that, duh. I feel like there's a lot of shifts that are kind of taking place. It feels like today's been pretty like relevant for some shifts kind of taking place, some awareness or epiphanies for certain people. You might be getting some clarity today or over like the next few days. I'm seeing like January 23rd also. So, or over the next few days. That's going to help you with shifting things outward. Feels like things have been kind of stagnant or stuck. It feels like this energy of kind of feeling stuck in place, not really sure what to do, knowing that things need to shift and take place and change, but not really sure how to make those changes. And a lot of people have been getting hit with heavy energies and triggers and, towers and things kind of coming up to help you with releasing things that have been stuck, helping you see things differently, helping you get clarity, helping you a lot of the past kind of is repeating itself, but you're changing and you're making different choices. So you're able to kind of see how much you've grown, see some of the lessons that you've learned over the years, seeing how much you're like internally stronger, seeing areas where you're still like not standing in your power or communicating your truth. They're saying like leaky, the fuck are you saying? Leaky pipes? Like almost the energy I got is like this leaky shit. I don't even know how to explain this. And then they just like hit me with a bunch of energy, so I can't even explain it. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm not even gonna say because like they are blocking me right now. Whatever, if it's for you, you'll know. But it's like a lot of you have been asked to make a decision more recently, or kind of like stop going back and forth on something. And it's like you haven't really had clarity or really much like direction to move in other than kind of a mindset thing. But I get a lot of the outward stuff is going to be shifting, especially for the people who have been staying, true to what they want, staying in alignment, things like that. Like you're going to start actually seeing the shifts taking place outwardly fairly soon to Spirit is not necessarily fairly soon to us, but I'm not going to give a time frame on that. You'll know if it's for you. So fairly soon, for some of you guys, like you're going to start seeing it outward and it feels like it's just going to boom happen one day, where you're going to see it. I got this message actually right before I started doing the reading, how they had said a few months ago, whatever it is that you want is going to come in, but it's going to come in a different way than you're expecting it. And what I've wanted has not come in yet, but I have noticed that the way I expected it to happen, I definitely already know it's not going to be that way because the way everything is outwardly right now. So try to just not really hold on to that too much. If you're standing in your truth and you're standing in your power, hopefully what you're doing, or if you're not doing, this would be beneficial to you, is surrendering, is like, look, I don't know everything. I'm not always going to know everything, and just letting it go and trusting that Spirit, the universe, whatever it is, has your back and they're going to help you get to where you need to be. They always do. Whether you trust it, believe it or not, they always do. You're always exactly where you need to be. But sometimes we cause like extra chaos and extra discomfort and anxiety and fear and shit that we don't need to, because we're trying to control, we're feeling unsafe and all these things. And when we trust in Spirit, Sage is already up to her shit. When we trust in Spirit and ourselves, or we try to, as much as we have the ability to, things are just easier and it just is not as heavy. It's not as difficult. Not to say that things aren't difficult, because this has also been coming up for me. Please be a good cat. This has also been coming up for me a lot, is like how people are always like, oh, you're so strong and you're so this and you're spiritually connected and blah, blah, blah. And this has kind of been coming up for me a lot, where it's like, and I was like, no, I'm not strong. And I'm like, I am emotionally strong. Like, I am very well aware I'm emotionally strong. But I think the problem is people don't realize that just because I'm emotionally strong and maybe I can handle certain things better than you can handle it, doesn't mean that I'm also not given way higher levels of shit to deal with than other people. Like the amount of spiritual shit that I go through, on top of my own personal stuff, on top of other people's stuff, on top of everything else, like, yeah, I might be able to handle things, but also I get hit with so much. And it's not this like woe is me sympathy bullshit. It's more so like stop invalidating that people who are strong or that you see outwardly calm, that they can handle themselves in chaos. Please do not make the assumptions or invalidate the fact that they don't go through difficult situations. They don't go through chaos. They, like have it easier somehow, because one of the things is, first off is, yeah, maybe I can handle shit different and better than other people. Sure. But I do also get hit with a lot of stuff that other people don't. I'll be sitting at my fucking house feeling, I don't even know whose energy and fear. And I'm having to work through stuff that's not even my own energy and trying to figure out the difference between that. And, I go through shifts constantly throughout the day where I go through like constant emotions. Nothing's even going on for me. And I'm constantly going up and down. And on top of that, I go through really painful emotions, my own and other people's, where when you're going through stuff and I'm talking to you, I feel it sometimes like it's happening to me. And that's not all the time, but like my point is like we need to stop invalidating just because we don't outwardly see that somebody's struggling or that somebody's having a difficult time or that like things are okay for them, because they're not. And I know like I've felt that a lot in my life where people just assume, my cat is knocking shit over. Hey, you want to go in the room? Hey, stop. They just assume like I'm good because I can handle it. It's always like, Brittany can handle it. That doesn't mean I don't need comfort. That doesn't mean I don't need support. That doesn't mean that I'm not struggling. That doesn't mean my emotions aren't hurt. That doesn't mean that I'm not going through painful stuff or heavy stuff or struggling. So that's not just for me. That's for anybody else. And if you're one of the quote unquote strong ones, that doesn't mean you can't ask for help or support or tell people that things aren't easy for you. All right, let me put her in the room because she's going to do this. Oh, look at you. Oh, I caught you and you're so cute. Why are you so cute? Why are you so cute? You get kisses for being crazy. You're on punishment. Okay. I got this new shirt. It's like a cat with, I don't like tarot cards, but it's got tarot cards. And I'm like, why does this cat look like a mischievous little bitch? And I love it. Okay, let me fix this so it's over here. Okay, let me just pull some fucking cards. They're just, they keep showing me these hearts. I don't know why they keep showing me just hearts. I got no, excuse me, I got no message with it other than like them just showing me like 2 hearts. Okay, well I shared it. I don't know, I've noticed they give me like random ass messages sometimes. I don't know what the hell they mean or who they're for, but they'll give me random, like the leaky thing earlier. I don't know what the fuck that was, but okay. We got 5th house passion. It definitely feels like some of you guys, you might not be in this energy right now, but you might be having over the last few weeks to few months, bits and pieces of information kind of come in, almost like puzzle pieces that just have not fit together and you might not see go together right now. Come in. Something that's very like inspiring to you, something that's very creative or passionate or something like that. And it's going to start blossoming soon is what I'm getting from Spirit. So if you've been getting kind of bits and pieces of it along the way, it might come and then go away, come and go away, or come and then something else come and then it's something else. Like you'll see it soon, okay? Like you'll see it soon. You're going to get the clarity on it soon. We got Vesta Hearth. I don't even know how the fuck to say this. Umam. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Root. We got digest, expand, and cross-pollinate. Hold on. Let me just fucking read the cards because I don't even know what the words mean on these things. You know what's so funny? I just thought of this and I feel like somebody else needs to hear this. When I first started doing cards, I always wanted to buy like the quote unquote easy cards, right? Like that had the words on the bottom or the answers on the bottom because it was like, this way I could just get the answer and all this stuff. I don't read the books. I never read the books. I always recommend to people, don't read oracle books. Like trust and channel in and they're like, how do I do this? How do I do it? Take time to do it and like channel, I don't want to get into that. It's a long ass conversation, but like take the time to try to put your energy in and channel into stuff. You don't need all this like extra guidance like you think you do. Like you can actually channel into your own energy and to feelings and things that are going on and spiritually connect. Like everybody can do it, okay? Like for whoever needs that. It comes in more direct. I don't know how else to explain it. They just wanted me to share that. With these two cards, I get this energy of this like fire, passion energy, and it's almost like hidden from you right now. You're not really able to feel this passion, fire, like energy. You get a lot of sacral chakra with this. You're not able to feel it right now because you're working on your like roots. You're working on freeing negative patterns and thoughts and feelings and beliefs from your roots. So this way, it's almost like the energy I'm getting is like, almost like if your root chakra, which is like your base, your first chakra, where your safety, basic needs, things like that, fears, all that type of stuff, but also your stability, your structure, your foundation is there, right? So we need to get rid of all the viruses. We need to get rid of all of the things that are negatively affecting it, that are attacking it, fears and thoughts and trauma and all this stuff. And it's like you're focusing so much on that right now because you need to build a internal foundation that's very stable, and it's going to open that passion stuff up, but you're needing to focus on this for now. And it's almost like that passion or that excitement or those things came ahead of time to inspire you to kind of move forward, if that makes sense. I get community with this. I get something with community. Two people may be working together, working on like self-love or themselves. And then it's like there's going to be something that shifts and opens up. It already feels energetically like it's opening up. You just might not be able to visually see it. You might be feeling a little bit or seeing it a little bit, but not completely. It's going to be something that is going to be balanced, but it's going to be like two people doing it together. Like they're going to be creating together, or they're going to be designing together or doing something together, like teamwork, like collaboration, teamwork. And it seems like two people though, specifically. I'm not getting more than that. I mean, I'm getting more than that, but not that they want me to share. So, okay. If it's for you, feel into the message and you'll get the answer for yourself that it is. New beginnings flew out, by the way. I definitely get like there's going to be, they're saying fresh perspective. Like there's going to be some type of, damn, that card flew out. Triumph. Some type of internal shift or something that's going to happen. And it's like, it's almost like wiping the slate clean is what they're saying. Like the past and all the stuff that's kind of been coming up that you're like, when am I going to be over this? Or when am I going to feel better? Or when is this going to shift? Or something like that. Like, it's almost like you're going to get like the like slate wiped clean and like a fresh start, like a fresh energy. And it's like this breath of fresh air energy. Okay. We got crown chakra. So I get two different energies. I get some of you guys have an overactive crown chakra and some of you have an under, like, no, not underactive, blocked. So I get like, there's a group of people who it's like, they're kind of blocked or in kind of cloudy mind, not really able to understand things clearly, just kind of like very spacey. And I get other people keep having a lot of thoughts coming into their mind. It's almost like overactive. It's not shutting off. They're kind of getting hit with all these different thoughts and energies. You might be going in and out of that energy too. Whatever is going on for you, trust that it's happening to you the way it's supposed to for whatever reason. So if you're having a lot of thoughts coming in, they're saying, ask yourself, are they yours? First and foremost, are they yours? Do they feel like they're coming outside of you, or do they feel like they're actually coming in through your own mind? That's how you can sometimes tell what's yours and what's not. Is it something you actively think about, or is it something that you have thought about or not? or something that you really don't believe and has never really crossed your mind, that maybe it's not yours, it might be somebody else's. But I also get this energy of like some of you guys have certain lessons you're going through with those specific situations, and that's why they're not really wanting me to say more. Like, you have your own spiritual lesson, you're not going crazy is what they're saying though. Like, they just wanted me to bring it up because they want you to have awareness that whatever's going on with you, either one of those, like, you're not going crazy. And if it's going from one extreme where you're like having no thoughts and is almost like just spacey and gone, to racing thoughts and overactive mind, just find your balance and like calm yourself the best you can in it. They don't want me to give you a solution because they want you to figure it out on your own, because you're empowered and you can do it on your own. All right, we got triumph, trapped in fear, financial and material changes. I don't know what is going on with these shifts tonight. There is like so much dizziness. I haven't been getting this dizziness for a little while. And like ever since I started this reading, it's like dizzy as fuck right now. It's like shift. Like every few minutes, it feels like these weird energy shifts. I don't even know how to explain it. It feels like a lot of us go through like shifts every few weeks, where we're getting hit with different types of energies or clearing certain areas, and then mini shifts throughout the day. So like our emotions are up and down and different things are like transpiring, but also like certain cycles are lasting, like small mini cycles are lasting like a week or two. And it's like mini shifts in those cycles, because you're like clearing and healing certain things. They're showing me almost like this deck of cards, and like this, like it's, let me see if I can show you. It almost looks like this, like they're stacked like this, but it doesn't look like tarot or oracle cards. It looks like playing cards, but not really. It almost reminds me of like glass slides, and like there's cards in them or something. I don't know, like baseball cards. I don't know how to explain it. But it's like, and then it's like you're like breezing through those, and then it's like here's another box, and then you're going through those. It's a really weird way they're showing it to me. I don't even understand some of the messages they say. I just go with the flow and just say whatever the fuck they show me. But the point that I was getting with that is that feels like it has more than one meaning to multiple people, and that's why they're probably saying it to me in that way, because it feels like it's going to trigger certain people who, like, when they were younger, who collected cards or something like that, and trigger them. And that also feels like this other explanation or understanding for people present energy, multiple messages in that, where it's like basically this box kind of comes in front of you that, and then it's like all these things you need to go through in that week or two period. And that's why it's like all your emotions are switching throughout the day, because it's like here's another card, and you're pulling all these up throughout the day, but they're all related in the same box. It just doesn't make sense. And then it's like here's another box, but that's kind of why you're going through those shifts the way you are. So with this one, definitely masculine energy, like a mother fucker. With this Triumph card, it feels kind of like this impulsive energy, like wanting to move forward and doing something, but then it's like they're stopping themselves and they get stuck, and it almost feels like they're frozen in place. It's like almost like this impulsive little kid like energy wanting to rush forward and do something, but then it's like they stop themselves and they feel frozen and they feel stuck. With this financial and material changes, it just feels like something that is like a desire of theirs, something they really want, or they really want, like desire, and they want stability with this. They want something that's lasting and stable with this. So it feels like their energy kind of keeps shifting in and out, but it feels like as they're doing that, they're getting a lot of awareness on the way they handle stuff and their conditioning and their trauma. Like they're getting a lot of awareness on kind of like problems they've had and resolutions of how to like get out of cycles. It feels like they've been in kind of the same cycles with a lot of stuff, and they're kind of seeing how they hinder their own progress. So they're coming out of it and they're learning something from it. Like there's something like that. So their energy feels like it definitely goes back and forth a lot, or at least, you know, in this reading, whenever they're saying it, feels like it's going back and forth a lot. feel like collectively there's like a huge shift with the masculine energy. We got a lot of Archangel Michael cards. 6 of Michael is the light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans, relocation or travel. They wanted me to read the bottom of that for you guys. They just want me to read this, bottom of this one. Yes, it is safe to trust the ability to accomplish many things at once. Follow your creative passions. I'm not getting a message. They just wanted me to read that one. So with this, it's like kind of how I said, like this new fresh energy is going to come in, and then you're like a breath of fresh air, like a sigh of relief. Like literally that's what this is. It's a light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief. Some of you guys might be relocating, moving. Your business or job might be relocating, or an office building or something like that. Some of you guys might be traveling also, like weddings, graduations, baby showers, shit like that. Like, it doesn't necessarily feel like traveling like a leisure thing. It more so feels like for some of you guys, like going to like celebrations or events or something like that. I was like, hopefully not funerals is like literally what popped in my head, but I felt like the urge to say it. We got Page of Michael, 3 of Ariel, Ace of Michael. What's with the masculines taking over my fucking reading? Like, first off, the cat looks very angry about this. Like, why are you all taking over my reading? So, okay. With this, with the Page of Michael, I get there's something that's shifting for you guys, but it's not fully mature yet, if that makes sense. So it's almost like you've gotten some information, but you don't have the full picture right now. But trust your intuition that you're being guided in the right way and you're making the right choices with it. This definitely feels like business, job, professional, something like that. And I'm going to read the bottom of it because they want me to. Excuse me. An exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed. Review contracts or documents very thoroughly. I also get for some of you guys, like definitely review paperwork really thoroughly and make sure you're reading it accurately. Like don't just sign something that you're getting that day. Like make sure you're taking time, especially if it's something financial, loan type, bank type, money type situation, anything financial related, okay? Anything that has to do with anything with money that you have to sign, like whenever you see this, okay? Like, make sure you're reading it thoroughly and like, don't sign it necessarily the day you get it. Like, take some time to think about it, because I get for some of you guys, like you're trying to rush into something because there's this fear mode of like what you want not happening, or you not being able to get something, or some type of fear holding you back, and you're feeling like you need to rush a decision or you need to get out of something really quickly. And it's like, don't do something that isn't going to benefit you, that you're now going to have to take one mess. And now you might have to clean up less of a mess, but you're going to have to clean up a mess. Wait until you can go into a healthier, better, something you actually want, like solution. Don't just go into something to go into something because you feel this time constraint, or you feel like you need the money for something or whatever. Like, don't rush it is all I'm getting. Like, don't rush it, and make sure you take it home, you read it through, and like don't put so much pressure on it. Like, you'll intuitively know the answer. So I think because some of you, it feels like you're going to rush into something, or you're going to want to rush into something, and they're like, bring it home and read. Not because you're going to be missing something. It's because, I said that wrong. It's not because you're not, it feels like the reason you're going to sign it or you're going to do it might not be the best reason, or the reason that's you in alignment, or you trusting your intuition. So when you take time to calm your energy down, or to go into it more at a logical place, or trust in your intuition a little bit more, which some of you guys are going to have to really trust in your intuition a little bit more and wait for some clarity. If you wait a little bit of time, you'll get the answer you need. So just take some time and take the pressure off of it, and you'll get the answer you need. And then I get the feeling a lot of you guys might not sign the first time. For some of you, that's not going to be for everybody. but don't put yourself in situations that you don't want to. Like, even they're saying, like, if you're going to sign a contract, if you only want to do something for like a year or so, don't do it for like 3 years or longer term than you want to, because you're scared you're going to lose it or something like that. Stand in your power, negotiate. And if it's meant for you, it will stay true. And if it doesn't stay true, then it's not meant for you and something else was. And that was to block you from going into something that you weren't supposed to. Okay. With this 3 of Ariel, I get this masculine and this very soft energy, like looking at this feminine, and I keep getting the word inspired this whole reading, like being inspired by her gentleness and like her grace and her like softness and kindness, but also like her empowerment energy. And it's like, they look to her for like guidance or clarity, almost like the feminine, like the divine feminine. When she's in her power and she's in her energy, she's like an oracle, right? Like I think my food's getting dropped off. She's like an oracle, like she is open and flowing and intuitive and kind of works in the energetic area, whereas the masculine kind of works and does things outwardly. The feminine kind of does them energetically first. And that's what it feels like. It feels like he's trying to follow her energetic guidance, so he kind of knows what steps he needs to take. That's what it feels like. With this Ace of Michael, they're going to have me read the bottom again to this one. A wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps on the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. I'm telling you, there was something definitely new coming in for a lot of you guys. You know, in the beginning phases, and I've talked about this before, but I feel guided to say it again. In the beginning phases, often times, like as you're working through stuff or something shifts, it seems, sometimes it doesn't, it's like question, like, did I make the right choice or decision? Or even though you know you made the right choice, you know, if you did, I shouldn't say if you did, but you know what I mean? Like, sometimes shit comes up and it doesn't mean you made the wrong choice. Sometimes it's like a learning curve or like a growth, you know, like perfect example. I got a new TV because my fucking TV randomly broke like a few weeks ago. And like, it's a completely new freaking TV, completely new remote. I have to do everything different. And it's like, doesn't mean, oh, I got the wrong TV, because I'm having to relearn how to use it and do things different. You know, it's the same thing with any type of situation. And if there's stuff that's going on, or there's changes that are like transpiring or taking place, I wonder if that love card's going to come out in this one, because that reminds me of the hearts I was saying. Like things are like changing, you know, sometimes you just have to have different communication. Your skills are going to change. The way you handle things are going to change. You want me to take that? Things like that are going to shift. So that card flew out. The changes card just flew out. So, just make sure if there's stuff you need, that card just flew out too, the foundation. Oh, that's what's up. Just make sure you're communicating, okay? If there's problems with other people or there's stuff that can be cleared up, communicate it. Like, try your hardest to communicate and stuff. Okay, we got energy and spiritual guidance with communication. It does feel like a lot of light worker energy. A lot of people are shifting and opening up to higher energies and understanding. It definitely feels like a lot of you guys are more in tune with your spirit team. If you've been in tune with them for a long time, you might be blocked right now or feel kind of blocked, but that might be because you're in the void in a different lesson. But for the other people, because there's a few different groups of people who watch this, for some of you guys who have always kind of gotten messages, but you never really listened to them or paid attention to them or kind of question if it's just your own thoughts and stuff like that, feels like your spirit team's connecting with you in a different way. And they're like, ask for signs or talk about this or, you know, this and this and this, and then you're seeing it. But trust what you're getting, guys. Like you intuitively know shit, so trust it. It definitely feels though like for some of you, like you need to, some of you it's like communication with others. Like you need to express your feelings and your needs and not expect people to read your mind. That's first off. That feels pretty fucking strong message. Clearly communicate. Not everybody can read your mind. Even I can't read people. Well, I can't say can't read people's minds, but I get blocked from people's energy. I don't always feel people's energy. And especially when I'm going through my own purging and stuff like that, I don't know what the fuck, like with other people. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I am, I'm like, just directly tell me, because if you give me any beat around the bush shit, or you give me anything that's like indirect or open, like my mind, wants to think of 1,000 answers. So like for me, I'm a very like, give me it very direct, and I'm going to take what you say literal. So like, even like me being a person who does feel energy, doesn't always feel people's shit. And that's also not other people's responsibility to know what you're going through. It's your responsibility to communicate that to people so they know what you need. And saying it directly and stuff like that, and not beating around the bush. But I also get this other message where Spirit's trying to talk to some of you guys, and it's like you hear them, but you're not wanting to listen to them. Like, you're not wanting to listen to messages. You're kind of being resistant to it. So ask yourself why you're being resistant. What in your past have you heard that made you maybe be a little bit like scared to trust in yourself, where maybe there are things in the past that happened where you weren't trusting in them, or you didn't feel safe, or some of you, it's religious conditioning, and it's, collective conditioning. And that shit has been coming out a lot, like that religious stuff, and people coming at with all this like religious bullshit to me. And I think the spiritual community is culty as fuck too. So I'm not even going to go into that, but trust yourself. Like, you know more than anybody else. Like, you know your shit more than anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I have the ability to feel people's shit at a deeper level that maybe you don't know, but I only feel it when Spirit wants me to feel it to help people what they need help with. I don't always just go around feeling people's shit. It's fucking exhausting. It's overwhelming. So like, that is turned off unless Spirit gives it to me to help other people. Okay. So like, besides people like me, whatever, most of the time, like, most people don't know what's best for you. And the reason I say that is because most people hear you through their trauma lens, through their experiences. They don't hear you through soul. They hear you through, mind, through ego, through human. And so what they're hearing is the parts of the information based on your perception of what happened, not necessarily the reality of what happened, the way you perceived something, even if it's not fully accurate. And then they're giving you advice based on your perception of what happened. And they're giving it to you based on what they've experienced and their own information. So how you thought something was, even if it's not accurate, they're receiving that in a limited way, and they're taking that and looking at how they've handled shit in the past or what's happened to them. And that's the advice they're giving you. It might not even be accurate to what the fuck you're going through. So it's important to go within yourself, and if you don't have clarity or you don't have answers, wait for it until you do. And a lot of times it will come in out of nowhere. I like to call it the aha moment. It will come in out of nowhere, and it will just make sense, and you can feel it, and you're just like, oh, that makes sense, to something you've been asking. Or you might have a dream where you wake up, you remember, and something makes sense. The dream, I just got to say this, the dream world has been weird as fuck. A lot of us are clearing fears and traumas and conditioning in our dreams. So if you have a lot of those things coming up, don't trust them. Do not fucking trust your dreams lately, especially. They're not literal. A lot of it is trauma and all kinds of shit. I just got another shift and dizzy as fuck. Mixing in together, okay? We got stress, changes, foundation. I feel like this has been the message of the day. I love how they're all outdoorsy ones too. With the stress, it definitely feels like a lot of emotions are coming up. A lot of energy is coming up. I'm telling you, for a lot of you guys, there's big ass changes coming right now. Like, you're going to start seeing it externally really soon. I know I said that in the beginning, but they want me to say it again. I'm going to read you the bottom of the changes card. Changes are coming. Trust in the process. Have faith. Everything is working out as planned. You want me to say that or no? No, that's it. Okay. And with the foundation, this is kind of what I was just talking about before, is like, you're building this internal foundation within you in order for these changes to take place. But the best thing, like, I'm going to say to this is what I said earlier, but I'm going to repeat it because somebody else needs to hear it. Okay. When you have all these energies and thoughts and fears and all this shit coming in, don't don't worry about if it's true or not, okay? Don't go to if it's true or not. Go to what is it I'm feeling and why? Because oftentimes those thoughts and those feelings are related to a past trauma, and it's creating this fear in you that might not even be real. It's something that's trying to come up to heal. Something that kind of came up for me the other day, and then something happened afterward, and I realized it was true. And it was saying something about how self-sabotaging. I cannot remember the post, and I feel completely blocked. But sometimes when we don't feel safe, we don't feel comfortable. No, I shouldn't say we don't feel safe. We don't feel comfortable, or we feel very exposed. We feel very vulnerable. We feel very seen and heard or loved and cared about, or things we're not used to feeling, right? We will go into this mindset, our ego, our inner child will go into this mindset to create all these fears and these thoughts where your mind kind of will spiral. And it's not because it's truth. It's because you're scared of being exposed. You're scared of being vulnerable. You're scared of being safe and trusting that you're going to be okay. And so your mind will kind of create these stories to try to keep you safe into the familiar. But familiar is not safe. If you look at the past and you look at the things you're familiar with, especially as they relate to your childhood, they fucking suck. And they make you feel like shit about yourself. They make you feel like shit about your life, your environment, and all that bullshit. They don't actually bring you wish fulfillment. They don't actually give you what you want. So a lot of you guys are clearing that right now. I can't stress this enough. If you don't have clarity to something, don't make assumptions. Don't listen to your fears. Sit and wait for the answer, okay? If you don't have the answer right now, you're not supposed to have the answer right now. You don't need to trust, but I'm telling you, let it go until it comes in. You're not going to get the answer sooner. All you're going to do is fucking spiral and make yourself crazy and fucking feel anxious and fearful and chaotic and shit that you can avoid if you just try to calm yourself down, remind yourself you're safe. What am I feeling and why? And if you go into what am I feeling and why and focus on your own emotions, you're going to see what your mind is trying to tell you. And it will come back up because it happens like an onion and it happens in layers and it might have different meanings every time. But that might be because there's like 5 different fucking traumas related to one, start of a trauma and 5 sub-traumas that happen afterward that all kind of go into the database, of your mind. And if you think about it, kind of the way your mind works is you have one significant trauma, right? You have something, it might not even be, it might have been the start of a trauma. Let's not say significant. They're all significant, but the start of a trauma or the start of a belief system or a perception. And then what happens is something else reminds you of that. And it's a familiar feeling. It's a familiar behavior. It's a familiar, action, a familiar something. And the way it connects in your mind, it goes into the same database. So now, which is probably what they're talking about with those cards thing. And that's what the boxes are. They're all related, but they seem not related, but they all are. Because there's an underlying belief. There's an underlying perception or a trauma there. So like a lot of times the I'm not enough energy. And so it might be, well, one time my friend didn't want to hang out with me. Well, one time this person cheated on me. Well, one time, my boss said I did a bad job at this. Well, one time I was looking really cute and nobody complimented me. There's one time I fucked up with this, and it all can seem unrelated. But when it comes up, all those incidents came up, there was a subconscious belief because it all felt the same that it meant you weren't enough. And you're going, see how I'm not enough, see how I'm not enough, see how I'm not enough, see how I'm not enough. And all that below the surface shit has been coming out for us to see how we actually think, to see how we actually feel. So we have the awareness so we can shift it so we don't keep going into these negative cycles that we're fucking problematic. There's something wrong with us. So we can come into true empowered energy and love ourselves and trust ourselves and stuff like that. So, all those things that are coming up, it might seem one way, but it's not necessarily what you think it is. And sometimes it's just that fear. There's an underlying fear there. And when you go into what am I feeling and why, you can see and kind of assess where you're at. So that's kind of the best advice I could give for everybody who's kind of going through it really hard right now, or there's a lot of stuff coming up. I will say for the other group, there's a lot going on collectively. There is a lot of shifts going on. I don't even feel like I want to talk about it right now. I will talk about it soon. They just do not want me to talk about it right now. So if you are one of those people who work with energy, you would already know you work with energy. You would already know you work with collective energy. Ask, is this mine? Ask, is this not mine? Breathe through it. A lot of you guys, or in where I'm at, which we're in the void. So we'll be getting hit with people's thoughts and people's energy, and we can generally, we know better by now to ask, like, is this mine or not, and breathe through it. If you don't, that's okay. You'll catch it when you're supposed to catch it. Sometimes you have to feel into it because you need to help people release it. But if you're in one of those energies where you're in the void, where you're kind of disconnected, but you're getting hit with all this shit that doesn't feel like yours, you're helping with collective stuff. And there's a lot of fear shit right now. There's a lot of shifts in general, but they don't want me to talk about what it is. If it is for you, you intuitively feel it, and it would have already popped in your head, or it's going to pop in your head. And I've noticed they don't want me to say things because they want you to feel into the energy and not listen to my words so much. They want you to feel into the energy and what I'm saying, not what I'm saying, what I'm feeling, so you can feel what I'm feeling and start trusting in your energy more and trusting in your inner knowing and stop listening with your mind so much. So I hope that this helped you guys, and I hope you guys all have an awesome night.